Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to War Commander Unshackled Special Edition. We'd like to welcome Goldendoodle to the show. But tonight on our panel, we have the moderator, Daba Phoenix. We have Jack Sparrow, which is switching computers right now. We have The One. We have The Trickster. And we have Zach, the infamous man behind the SF. He loves those bad boys. And our special guest tonight is Goldendoodle. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, good.
Doing very well.
Oh, fine.
I'd like to thank you, Goldendoodle, for coming on tonight's show. I know your time is very limited. You basically allotted us about 30 minutes, so Zach says he's fine for now as well. So on tonight, let's go ahead and bring up one quick topic that we had a little bug after the downtime that we did with the infamy mess up and our little corrections. So obviously, I know you corrected the issue, but what exactly really happened?
Well, I won't go too deep into the technical details, but essentially what happened is that there was a piece of code that had been laying dormant in our releasing the game for a while that essentially caused a runaway bug where it tagged this kind of issue in our code, tagged people as they logged in as being in the incorrect season. And so it reset their infamy to the last time they were in Season 8, which of course for everybody is 0 because we reset it at the end of the season. And it caused this chain reaction where it ended up setting everybody back to 0 and just ran rampant all the way through the database. Is essentially what happened. And of course we didn't know that until we went live and it started catching on as people logged in. So we quickly took the game down so it didn't cause any more damage, corrected the error, and then went from there with the remediation factors that you all saw.
Well, thank you for that explanation. I'm pretty sure everybody is loving the little triple infamy bonus payout, the 2,000 medals that were given out, and the triple payout at the end of the week.
Yeah.
I got one side question for you on that. Since with everybody going to be probably that are truly active in the game, everybody's going to be at 3,600 or plus. Is Infamy going to reset at the end of this week?
Nope, we're going to keep it through to the end of the season as per usual. Provided no more stupid mistakes happen, which I don't expect it to. We'll keep your score, and you guys can all enjoy your extra infamy.
Well,
that is awesome.
That is very good. Thank you so much. Although there are reports right now that the triple infamy isn't paying out correctly anymore, since the next subject, the boss base or the hero token bases, revamping of those or reduction of those.
Yeah.
So, want to talk about that with the hero tokens? What brought that on?
With the kind of the renowned levels and the tokens to match them.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So the genesis for this, really shortly, is that there are some units that we like a lot on the game team, and we know players like a lot. Some of the older heroes, primarily Ardra is one of the most popular units in the game, but also Nyx is really popular as well. And with the pace of the game, these older units become less relevant and less used, which can be unfortunate for people that have invested time and like using them. At the same token, there are heroes that were released, like Roland, that never really hit their stride. And so by releasing another tier, we are able to do two things. The first is breathe some new life into old heroes so people can use them again and keep them relevant. And at the same time, rebalance on the fly some heroes that never really had a chance to shine, like Roland.
Any plans on the other hero units for this to come out with?
Well, we were planning to gauge the reaction based on these three, see if people enjoy using them. I think they're really fun at the max level, but obviously I'd like to hear feedback. If the players enjoy them and enjoy using them, we'll absolutely be expanding it to the remaining faction heroes, and we're also looking at perhaps potentially doing it to the Special Forces heroes as well, but that's a more difficult discussion that we'll be having.
All right.
Zach would love that.
Yes.
We have a member on our panel that loves using Special Forces era stuff, so.
Yes, if you've seen some of his videos, I'm pretty sure you probably have. He is a beast with those SF units. Of course, he's
Now that the caretakers come out.
Yes. So, do we have any sneak peeks on what's going to be coming into the future that you can release?
Why don't you give me an area?
Well, Axel actually asked me about building upgrades.
Okay.
Let me bring up what his question was. Reducing the amount of upgrades for the buildings would cut down on the grind when it comes to, upgrading them. There's a lot of upgrades which can be defined as pointless. It wouldn't hurt if upgrade journey got split into fewer steps, making the upgrades experience more fun.
Specifically for buildings. Sorry, were you still going?
No, go ahead.
So certainly for building upgrades, there's some buildings that have pretty ridiculously high number of levels. Some of them are not that high and are pretty reasonable, but not all of them at that stage. And it can be arduous, particularly for walls. Upgrading all of them to the max level takes a very long time, and it's not a very fun experience. So yeah, I absolutely sympathize with that sentiment. So what are we going to try and do to combat that? There's a couple things, and this is a really tricky problem because we don't like cutting out levels because people will have worked hard and in some cases spent money going through these levels. And when we cut them out, we invalidate the effort they put in, which I don't want to do. But the amount of effort that is required to get up to a meta-relevant level is too much right now. And we don't like how long it takes and how difficult it is. So with our next round of building improvements, which will be happening fairly soon, we're looking to rebalance the curve so that it's not so difficult for every building to get up to a high level. Does that answer your question?
I think it does, actually.
Perfect. There was one comment saying, how about using the armory for air? I think I saw you say that, Dava.
Yes, sir, he did.
That is an excellent...
That was actually Jack Sparrow that said that.
My apologies.
Go ahead.
Well, in the side chat, but yeah.
Yes, sir. So.
No, I absolutely agree. That would be great. The fact that you can't use the armory for air right now is a little silly.
We had a question on YouTube. Is there, for the token bases, the new hero ones, is there a reason that they were only one hit? Because that's a big thing that's been going on in Discord and pages. So.
Yeah, so there's always a reason. The key one is, there's two. The first is just that one-hit bases and multi-hit bases just present different challenges. And we like to vary the amount of challenges in the game. So there's different kinds. That's the primary reason we like to have some bases that are one-hit, because it's a different experience, and some bases that are multi-hit. So that was the primary genesis, that we just wanted kind of a different experience. For these ones in particular, until recently, heroic training tokens have been locked entirely behind Blood Thorium, and it's been very difficult to get them in large numbers. With the new increased hero levels, the amount of tokens you need are also increased. So we needed to increase the supply of heroic training tokens at the same time. And that's why we released the bases. But we didn't want to make them so easily accessible that it completely floods the market and invalidates the game. And it can be easier to control difficulty with one-hit bases.
Will these be implemented more often? Like, this is not going to be just a one-time thing for these hero tokens.
Yeah, we're planning to do more of these bases.
Okay.
It seems to be relatively well received so far. We definitely had the difficulty wrong when we first released them. And so, as we get better at that, I think it's a good addition to the game.
Right. We do have one big question. Will the gold sale be active during the event?
What would you like? What would you like?
Well, they're asking if people are asking if the gold sale is going to be active during the events, like they have been in the past.
The short answer is we haven't decided yet.
Okay.
On that, the current one that's out, is there a time that's going to, or do you know what time that's going to end? This way the community is aware.
For the gold sale, we had originally planned to end it on Sunday. But if there's a large demand to keep it around, I can be swayed otherwise.
Yeah, go ahead, Daba.
People always love gold sale, so.
Yep, that's good.
Yes, everybody loves a good gold sale.
Kickstarter even got me last January. I put some gold in because it was a huge sale.
One more from me, and then I'm going to open it up to the panel for some questions. Since a lot of people don't know, and I do, I know you're the man behind the gold offers on all these packages that we see on the right-hand side. Any sneak peek or ideas on what's going to be coming out next?
So, minor clarification. I definitely am involved in that for sure, but we do have I'm not the main guy. But with that being said, I am still heavily involved in those, so I'm happy to answer questions about it. Right now, most of what we offer is influenced around what people like to use and what people ask for. We like to comb through the forums and the Discord as well to see if people want certain things offered and try to put those together. But I can say that the most interesting thing soon would be you'll probably see some Phantom offers very soon, and potentially some tech for Nyx or Ardra or Roland to go with the new versions of these.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that insight.
I think there was a question down below I can see about Blood Thorium. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm consolidating all the questions in the side chat in the Hangouts.
Okay.
So this way we don't have to. I'm watching YouTube, but there was a question about is there any chance of selling us Blood Thor? I guess for in-game currency like medals or event XP or whatever. And then what do you think it would cost? If
right now we are not planning to sell Blood Thorium. We'd like to keep it as a currency that's exclusive to PvP. It's a very good question, and the idea is it's nice if there are certain things that you can only get through certain avenues, so the different activities have their own rewards. And so yeah, right now there's no plans to sell Blood Thorium for another name.
Okay.
I actually have to agree with that one wholeheartedly, honestly, because then it would reduce the value of the Blood Thor as it is.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Anybody on the panel got some questions?
I don't know if you're the one to ask, but I've seen a lot of players that were a little upset when they did when they took it so that we can't put damaged stuff in our bases. Only for the fact that people used to, since it's got an extra like 800 space, they would put all their damaged stuff in there to consolidate the repairs, and let it sleep overnight because you got an extra 800 that you could. Mm-hmm. So there were some people in the community asking if you could put a tab on our tech center or something like that, where you could have X amount of space, more than 3,000, and then you could just put a whole bunch of damaged stuff to consolidate repairs. Because like you might have 2 hours on this tune, 2 hours on that tune, mm-hmm. but you can't squish the tunes together because it's 3,000 and 3,000, and each individual unit's got like 30 minutes on it.
Yeah.
So you can take those 2 or 3 tunes, smush them into one big area to repair. Not any reduced repairs or anything, but just to consolidate your repairs all into one. Then go to bed or something like that. This way you don't have to set your alarm clock waking like every 2 hours or so for repairs.
It sounds like there was 2 questions there, I think. The first one was in regards to the restriction on moving platoons into the base defense platoons, like damage units into your base defense platoon. And the second was any way to replicate that experience that we used to have. So the reason why we turned off moving damage units into the base defense platoon was simply because we added in significant repair bonuses to base defenders. And if you could cycle units in and out, you could just, it would actually give a global repair bonus. And the second question is, have we considered creating special repair slots, essentially? Is that kind of what you were saying?
Yeah, like a special repair place so you can consolidate a bunch of repairs to so that if you wanted to go to bed or whatever, you didn't have to keep getting back on every 2 or 3 hours for those little squads.
So it's something that we actually haven't considered before. It's a brand new idea. So I can't give you a full-throated answer right now because it's something that you just tossed to me. But I'll definitely take it away and talk with the team about it.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
All right, let's go with Jack real quick, Dava. You got anything, Jack?
Yeah, Michael Benton at YouTube asked a really good question. I put it in the side chat about a playback button. If you get hit offline, watch what was done in your base so you can learn and make adjustments. Would that be something that's possible?
It's definitely possible. It is something we're currently exploring. It's definitely functionality we would like to have. And so the question is one of priority, always.
Right on. And then Hunter asked, is there any plans in the future for base design memory where you can have 2 or 3 different setups that you can populate quickly instead of having to redo your entire base?
That is a very good idea. It is not one that we've currently spec'd out to happen soon, but it is a very good idea. I can say that in the similar vein, what we're currently working on is, and one that we could implement in a faster timeline. Both of these suggestions would take significant development work and would take a while to do. One that we can do a little bit quicker is adding functionality to the go-go bar to make it a reverse go-go bar so that you can do go-go bar battles against your own base.
Oh, right.
That would be cool. So we could,
Yeah.
so we could control the go-go bar units and attack our base with them?
Yeah, there's a couple implementation ways we're trying to think of to make it easy. As again, we're still in the development phase where we're looking for ways to do this without taking forever. The easiest way we can think of right now is just that your PvP platoons would be the ones that you attack with, along with your air. But again, we're still trying to figure it out. But that's the concept now, which accomplishes slightly the things that are being asked here.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Zach's got one good question. How many more generations will there be for the faction units? Because I can see at least 2 more before we have to switch to a new era unit.
New unit era? Yeah, so we don't have, we haven't decided the exact number yet. But yeah, there isn't an end to the faction era anytime soon.
All right. Well, let's go to the one. You got anything you want to ask?
No, all the questions I had planned were already asked.
Well, that's real good then. How about you, Trickster?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's you to ask, but when would we start seeing transition to HTML5 from Flash?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I am definitely the right person to ask about that. So long story short, we've already started. The analysis work on how exactly to port it and the best way to do so is already started, or it's being done behind the scenes. It will be a very long project. It's not an easy thing to do. This game was built a long time ago, and it was not built very well. And so taking that all apart and putting it all back together, again, under a new modern platform will take a while. But the work has started, and that's about all I can say right now.
Right.
Alrighty. One other big question out in YouTube right now is it possible, people are asking for more storage, possible to make the barracks and airports shrink unit size, like the War Factory?
Like the War Factory.
Because the War Factory, as you upgrade it, it reduces size, but then they're asking if the barracks and the airfield could do something like that.
Yeah, that is, again, a very good suggestion. I don't have concrete answers on whether or not that's something to be happening soon or not. But it's something that I think would be really useful in the game. So yeah, I will also take that away. It's a good suggestion.
We got 3. Somebody had posted 3. First, we got in raid platoons. We currently have ground that we can use in the raids, and they repair at 50%. But we also use air in those. Some people use air, and so there's not a raid. Air raid tune, so we have to use our standard air and repair it at standard rate. So somebody's asking if we could get a air raid tune.
Right, just like the airkeeper tune for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That is That's another very good suggestion. Yeah, that's something I'll take that away. It's a good suggestion.
And then this one's probably going to be no, but I was asking if you would be open to unlocking the hero thing, so where we can only use one hero at once, making it so we could use multiple heroes at once, like an air hero and a ground hero, or at the same time, or something like that.
This is something we're actually actively playing with and have been discussing for a while now back here in the team. We want to open up the avenue for using multiple heroes, but we need to find a way to make it so that's not very exploitable. Right now, there are some combinations that do not work together. And so, yes, the ultimate goal is we would like to be able to use multiple heroes. But we just figure out a way to do it that actually works. And so it's something. It's a challenge that we're currently working through.
Because right now you could put a bunch of Omega units in, and that would do more than 2 heroes would.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best arguments for it.
That would work well with Galen at the minute.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm reading questions out in the YouTube. I was asking for basically a base editor, like raising ground level obstacles, water features, maybe.
Mm. Yes, this is something that we've been discussing here on our end as well. That'd be really fun to add flavor to your bases like that. And right now we're trying to explore ways to do so that won't take an overwhelming amount of engineering work. As you know, it's a kind of a theme here as you're gathering. There are so many fantastic ideas and things that can be made to improve the game. And part of the challenge is weighing those in a priority order against, bug fixes, as an example. And so listing all the different changes and suggestions, both internally from the team and from you guys as players, and finding the right order, it can be a challenge for sure. But it's part of the fun of the job that we have.
Anton's asking, what's the next shadow op, air or ground?
The next unique unit, the next big one?
Yeah.
It'll be a ground unit. And in my opinion, it's the one I'm most excited for.
All right.
Is anyone got a editor?
So what?
Oh, I was going to say, Dalba and I were doing some testing, and this question really goes to the Corpus faction buff. Mm-hmm. So I run Corpus in my base, and the reason I do that is because it takes 7 shots of anything that's burst damage to kill a Phalanx or a Hades.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed is that the Hydra is shredding Phalanx lately. So Dalba and I got together one night and did some testing. We put I put a platoon of Phalanx together, pulled one out aside, and let him hit it with his Hydra. The Hydra seems to be bypassing the 15% damage cap and 3-shot killing a Phalanx as opposed to 7. Is there something special about that unit? Or is that something that we probably should send in a video on?
Yeah, please send in a video. There's nothing special about the Hydra that I am aware of that would cause you to do that. So,
right on.
Thanks, appreciate that.
You bet.
Somebody's asking about giving a bonus for staying with one faction for a long period of time.
Like an extra loyalty bonus?
I'm gonna guess that's what he's getting to.
That makes sense.
So if you stay with him for like a month or so, then you get a bonus?
We've toyed with that. We also like the prospect of people switching to things that they like and getting a taste of the different play styles. So we go back and forth on whether or not we'd like to add that in. So I guess the answer is right now, not planning to in the immediate future at all, because we do like the fact that you can switch.
Okay. Good stuff.
Are there any plans of adding more factions to our list?
Not right now.
Okay.
Is there enough units to keep track of?
Exactly. So any...
Can you give us a hint or a tip or whatever just a little teaser of what stuff we're fighting this event?
Yeah.
Apparently it's not bugs.
Yeah, there will be no Onyx, no bugs at all that I'm aware of. Certainly not that we put in the event on purpose. Do you guys remember? Probably do. If you go to kickside.com and you click on War Commander, the banner image has a particular character on it.
Let me just see.
Let's see here.
Oh wait, I probably got to log out of Kicksai. See? I mean, yeah, I had like a. Oh no, it's not gonna kick me out.
You want to screen share it, Daba?
I can.
Okay.
Oh no, this is coming up as video.
There you go.
Oh, it's got like Matoto and whatnot on.
Interesting.
Is that the picture there, Zach? Is that the one you're talking about, Goldendoodle?
Oh, there we go. The Rising Sun one?
No, you had it before.
Oh, the Matoto guy?
And that's your teaser.
All right. Hang on. Daba's going to have to screen share it.
Let me see here. Yeah. So I think he was the Eastern Hordes, if I remember correctly. We haven't had Eastern Horde in ages. Because the Iron Strike swallowed him up as far as the bases on the map.
So I've got a, and I'm supposed to leave, but I'd like to stay a little bit more if that's possible with you guys. I just wanted to ask a question to see if there's any particular big giant issues that really hold you back from enjoying the game. The things that we can address and try to improve.
No, not really. I do like to ask a question. Is it possible we get a test server in the near future?
So another run at preview?
Yeah, a public test environment for the players.
Yeah. Yes. We've had our engineers devoted to fixing that for a while now. It is badly broken. And so we're currently rebuilding the test server so that the players can use it. So yeah, the answer is yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, from the panel and everybody out in YouTube right now, I want to go ahead and thank you for showing up on the show. I know you don't have to do this, but I want to thank you very much for showing up and answering some of these questions that we've had. I know you have to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys having me. And if you have any more questions, never hesitate to contact me on Discord or on the forums. I'm always happy to respond and talk. It may take a little while, but I'll definitely get back to all of you. And yeah, I'm sure we'll link up and do this again. I appreciated the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
All right.
I have that image ready. You want to
Go ahead. You're screen sharing right now, Daba.
Hang on. I got it.
So everybody out in YouTube can actually see what we're talking about.
So, all the story warriors, all y'all that pay attention to the story. Oops. I forgot. Come on. There we go. All right. So, if you log out of your Kicksai, Kicksai.com, whatever. If I remember correctly, this is Matoto, and he's got a kid on him, and the kid's got a machine gun and all that. So,
Daba, you're not screen.
It's not showing on YouTube.
Yeah, you're just got your avatar.
I was just checking to see if you guys were paying attention. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right. You pulled the noob. That's all right.
Absolutely. Yep. So there's like a Hercules here on drugs or something. Like that's like an Omega Hercules. It looks like on the right. I never actually noticed that until now. But here's the Matoto guy. One of these is Matoto. I forget which one, and this was the Eastern Horde, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And look, we got a mega tank top on the top of a building.
I'm gonna see if I actually have that picture. Hold on.
This guy's probably gonna like wake up out of the dead and like come hit us or something. And no, actually, yep. See, that's an old. Oh wow! Remember when it would draw the lines for you when we had 100 hexes? Holy moly!
Yeah.
But yep, there's General Matoto. So I don't know what's going on with that. Oh wow, you got elite mega tank and regular mega tanks in this particular photo.
Wow, this is old.
I'm gonna screen share it here in a second, just for everybody, because I found the original picture without any of the other stuff there. 1 second.
There we go. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a better one.
Why is it not coming up?
Just copy it into like PowerPoint or something. Or
There we go.
Zoom your thing, whatever. There you go.
Go over here.
I got you presenting.
There we go. There's the main picture. So interesting. All right. Well, we got one other thing to bring up that our new lead designer has brought up to us. The life of a bug cycle for everybody. So I'll go ahead and read off a little bit and then get the consensus for everybody. There's often players asking why we haven't fixed a certain bug, or controversial those players who will be a bit salty when we introduce new features instead of suggesting that we fix all the bugs first. We'd like to address both points by helping to describe how we go about identifying bugs, tracking them, testing them, and ultimately fixing them. I present to you the life cycle of a bug. So, almost all bugs start out with someone noticing some behaviors that are not expected. This could be a player, but more often than not, it is a member of the internal Q&A team. For simplicity, I detailed the steps in a bullet list that explains more in a later session. Bug notice. A ticket is created in the bug tracking software. A ticket has a brief description title. Large description follows in a format of list of steps to reproduce, list of expected results, and list of actual results. Some data about the severity and the numbers of the attempts.
Can you screen share the post?
Yes, I should be.
Hey, you still got the Matoto thinking up.
Yeah, still got the picture up.
Oh, hold on, man.
You gotta click over to your other tab.
Yeah, hang on. Let me
Or
stop.
drag that into the.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna blow it up some too, so.
There you go.
So everybody can read this.
All right, can you start from the beginning so this way people on YouTube can see it?
No. All right. So some data about the severity and the numbers of the attempts. Severity is often a percentage of how likely to occur, but could be how bad it is when it does occur, and is used as a measure of what type of projected impact. The number of attempts of versus the number of reproductions is important to help identify. Priority, this is a measure of how important it is to address this bug and how quickly we must do so. More details below. A ticket is assigned to triage list and assigns to the lead of whichever discipline it is likely to affect. This could be dev, engineer, designer, art. Lead assigns the priority based on how severe it is and what outcome of this bug is. How likely is it to occur and how many people are affected? Then the bug gets fixed. So with that being said, gentlemen out there watching, with that's why they ask for screenshots and videos so they can help identify it and reproduce it. They like the steps of how you do it. So the one example would be, I'll give you an example, would be the
Hydra.
Phalanx glitch, where it produced unlimited amounts of Spartan ZKs being deployed. That was recently fixed. So
I saw CM Bernie in Discord. Somebody brought up the tag issues when you jump, and his first question was, "Does this happen 100% of the time?" And when a player said yes, CM Bernie was like, "Okay, we're gonna have to get this to the team." And so, if it's something you can reproduce, if you have a video or something like that, get on Discord, get in Kickside, PM one of the moderators, and we'll get your video to Kickside. So that's.
Unfortunately, I'm going to address that one. That is compared to the Phalanx glitch.
Oh, yeah, it's minor, but
very low priority to fix. So, would you rather, get the tags fixed, or would you rather?
Oh, Phalanx, definitely.
Phalanx fixed. Yeah. So, Evaluation, a bug is tested. We have a bug. It's glorious. Now what? What happens? What happens heavily depends on two things. One, does the bug have reliable reproduction steps? Two, does it affect a lot of players, or is the effect very bad on both? If either of these are true, then the bug will make it out of triage and get a fixed version. Yay! However, if the effect is vague and unknown, or if the reproduction is not clear, this is where a bug can languish for a long time. I know this is a hard pill to swallow, but if we don't know how to cause it to happen again, we're likely not to have a way to fix it. Similarly, if a bug only affects a small number of people, we're likely to prioritize it much lower in favor of more serious bugs. So, an assignment, a bug grows up. I'm thinking spiders.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire, yes. This is the point where a bug is truly on the path to getting fixed. We get to put our detective hats on and dig into the code. The hilarious part is that debugging is a bit like being both a murderer and a detective at the same time. How long do these steps take? That depends on the reproduction steps or reliability of the data change. If we have a reproduction steps, then a dev can run the steps while looking for the cause. If we don't have reproduction steps, but the effects is it happens to a large number of people, then we can examine the data and how it changes. How often? Looking at the code while the player's data is manipulated will provide us the answer we need. Once again, videos, screenshots, step by step on how to reproduce what is happening. That way they can look at it, reproduce it, and hopefully get a fix. So, testing the bug, a bug is fixed. The bug is fixed. Now what? Well, a few points to consider. We release weekly. Bugs are fixed in branches, not in our mainline code repository. Bugs need more than one person to say it's fixed. Other questions to ask. Did it cause a new bug to happen? Did it change existing behavior? Bugs are not all equal in size. The key here is actually the last one. If it's a tiny bug, then it will often get fixed. Testing and integrating back to the main code is one sitting. Anything larger than trivial cannot go do this. It is too much risk creating escaped defects. So to prevent this, we have a process that we adhere to when fixing a bug and getting it integrated. A bug fix branch is cut. When the work is picked up, ticket is put in progress. A bug is worked on and eventually fixed. The dev tests their work. Reminder, this could be an engineer, a design, or even an artwork, aka the trophy that we just recently got. A ticket is put into the RFQA, ready for QA. QA will test the bug against the expected results. Does it pass? QA will then ADHOC test around the bug to see if it does other things. The bug is then ready. So there is a lot of testing that goes involved into fixing a bug, as you all can see. Will it break something else? Will it affect something else? That's what they don't want. So you got to remember, as said previously, there is over 10 million lines of code in this game. And it is across multiple programming languages. For those of you that are trying to figure out that, it is like taking Spanish, French, German, Russian, combining them all into one and try to communicate. So integration of a bug comes home. It has been given a sign-off by all the interested parties and is ready to release. Now we need to pick when it will go out. Why? We release weekly. Since we want to verify the actual artifact that we will ship, we need to ensure we have the time to do it. That means a few things. All features and the bugs are Non-trivial, needing to be ready by Friday, end of day. Everything being shipped needs to be in the main repository by Monday. QA test the integrated features to make sure we didn't create new bugs when we put the features together. You'd be surprised at how often this causes unexpected bugs. New bugs are entered and prioritized very high. In rare circumstances, we shift release dates or even pull a feature if it causes problems. The artifact is promoted and released, a release candidate on Monday or Tuesday, and undergoes even more testing. The artifact is deployed on Wednesday for most cases, except on event weeks where it is deployed on Thursday. A final thought, a bug is dead. What I'd like you to take away from here is the process is designed to protect the integrity of the live game. As a result, a lot of times spent checking features and bugs before release. It is not as simple as a just fix it unless a bug was super trivial. It often takes 2 or more weeks to make it through this process, even if it is a simple fix. How can you help at minimizing and keeping reporting bugs? To really give us the tools to fix them. It is in a strong reproduction steps. If you have, these are where we most are likely to escalate it to something we can fix. Here's an example you can use. Bugsy. Bugsy is missing his hat after taking damage. Send a platoon containing Bugsy into a PvP or PvE base. Attack the base. Deploy Bugsy. Have Bugsy take a small amount of damage, then retreat. Deploy Bugsy again. Expected results, Bugsy responds with his hat. Actual results, Bugsy is missing his hat. So, you give as much information as you can that you are comfortable with sharing. Often a video to show the actual problem can help us as well. Once again, asking for video, screenshots, step by step when you're reporting something. So with that being said, I'm not going to go fully into the details of that. So let's go to the panel and think what they think of all this stuff.
What I got to say is, wow.
It's a lot of stuff.
I didn't realize it was a lot of. I mean, I figured there wasn't just an off-on switch to fix stuff like that, but yeah, that's a lot of detail, and I'm glad. Stalling so I can find the name. Friendly Fixer was able to put that out for us and kind of open it up that it's not just like an on-off switch. It's a whole process of stuff that has to happen before it's actually on when we get a release on Wednesday, like the Phalanx thing. Kixeye was aware of it for a long time, and then it finally seems to just have made it out of their process this past Wednesday. So I'm glad for that. But yeah, just like that Bugsy example, provide as much detailed information that you can if you're ever talking to Kixeye or the moderators, and just what's supposed to happen, what's not supposed to happen. I know the tickets used to say what's the expected results, what's not happening right, and all that. I don't know if they still do, but yeah, just imagine if you were making the game, what kind of information would you want or desire, and if you were trying to fix that, and that's what you want to give them, because you're all players out there, and you may have an issue, and then you want to say, hey, this is everything that I can find. Imagine if you're like a detective. Hey, this is everything I can find. Here, you guys look at it, and then the guys that actually know the code and look at that stuff and all that on Kixeye's side, they can say, okay, well, I know this is supposed to do this, this is supposed to do that. Let me look at this and look at this area, and it'll give them a starting point at the very least, if nothing else. So keep sending in tickets and bug reports and all that, and be vocal in the forums and Discord. But keep it. What I'm looking for. Keep it
classy.
Well, that I was gonna say constructive.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep it classy, as Mr. Anton Airlines always says. But yeah, be constructive in sending bug reports. Don't just be like, your game sucks and all that. Say, hey, I found a bug. Here's what's going on. Here's what should happen. And that'll go into Kick's Eye, and then Kick's Eye will take a look at it.
Well, who's got brain overload from that? Jack?
I'm just sad for Bugsy lost his hat.
Yeah. Well, Bugsy will hopefully get his hat back.
I'm gonna be laughing if now this is just me speaking as a player, but I'm gonna be laughing if our next single-use heroes like Bugsy.
No, they made it the story so it's easier to read on the forum.
And then his hat actually gets off, and then that's like a little Easter egg that they put in there.
Right.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe, you never know. We do have the bunny on the shelf.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what I forgot to ask Mr. Goldendoodle if we got any more bunnies.
Maybe you get a Goldendoodle.
Oh yeah.
So I will post the link out in YouTube for people that may want to go and read this all over themselves. So, Jack, are you in brain overload over that?
No, I'm fine. I was just watching Belder in a Viper base.
What about you, Trickster?
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into fixing bugs and that behind the scenes that we don't see, so it's good to know, some of the things that they do. Give us a little bit of an insight.
All right. The one, you in brain overload yet?
Yeah, that's a nice story to read to make it simple. But it's a lot of work for those guys at Kixie to fix and do all the steps to get it fixed. So big respect for them.
All right. And Zach, I know you don't have a mic, but are you in brain overload as well over that? So, any questions out in YouTube? And Zach says slightly in overload. Yeah. So it's
got us on another monitor. Another screen.
All right. And so let's go ahead and give our shout outs and we'll start off with you, Mr. Daba.
Well, first and foremost, shout out to Mr. Goldendoodle for showing up and staying and answering a lot of these questions. A lot of questions that the community has asked or in forums and Discord were asked tonight, and even we were able to get some in from YouTube. So thanks a lot for sharing your time with us on the panel. And football goes well with your day and all that stuff. And then shout out to Sector 63 for all the fun time we had. And shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and everyone out with the questions in YouTube. Thanks for all those. And if you guys have any questions you would like to ask, PM me or ask them in Discord, or I can even post them on the Unshackled page, and we'll get them. We'll see if we can get an answer. We'll see if we can get an answer for you.
Alrighty. Jack, you're up.
Shout out to Goldendoodle for coming on. Shout out to Kickside for the fix. I know that there are a lot of people upset about the infamy glitch, but once again, I think they kind of went out of their way to try and make it right. So good on them for that. And shout out to all my homies in 173. I love you fuckers.
All right, the one, you're up.
Yeah, shout out to Goldendoodle, and I want to thank him for taking the time to be on here. And I want to thank the whole Kixie team for making the game so much fun the last past months. And a big shout out to Sector 169.
All right, Trickster, you're up.
Yeah, shout out for Goldendoodle for coming on. So that was good. He didn't have to come and do it. Shout out to you guys for having me on again. And thanks for everyone on YouTube for tuning in. A shout out to 1SA and Sector 33.
All right. Zach's shout out is to Goldendoodle, the panel, and YouTube. Well, my final words for the night. I want to thank everybody on the panel for coming and being on here, not making it a boring show. I'd like to thank Goldendoodle for coming on and giving us some insights on some of the things that have happened this past week and what's going to be coming in the future for us. Everybody out on YouTube for watching, and that will watch this later. I want to thank everybody. Just remember, this is a game. It is a pixel game.
What?
Don't get hurt over it.
The hell you say?
So just remember, keep it classy in chat. Keep it classy in forums. Keep it classy on Discord. With that, we are War Commander Unshackled. We're out.